All right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. And looking forward to what should hopefully be a reasonably interesting trading day here for us. A lot of consolidation there yesterday, which kind of what we expected. Fine, no big deal. Happy with a small little green day there yesterday. Hopeful for a bigger and better one here today. But not going to force it, not going to rush it, not going to overtrade. Just going to focus on the variables I can control and kind of hope that everything else sort of falls into place here this morning. We do have a little bit of a busier economic calendar, right, versus what we saw there yesterday. Yesterday was pretty much a blank slate. We did have some data drop at 8:30, and then we've got some Fed speak here starting at 10 a.m. So I would imagine that potentially creates a little bit of extra volatility, but to be determined how much of an impact or how much chaos that actually creates. So we'll see. Again, kind of like same deal like always, right? We'll trade the price action in front of us, not what our perception or ego tells us to trade. And we're just going to focus on following our rules, sticking to our system, and executing basically within our lines. So that's the goal here today. Everything else is a distraction or nonsense or not worth it. And hopefully we can find ourselves some nice tradable opportunities in today's PA. So with the old ES here, right, we got a little inside bar, and that's the same thing across the board. Maybe 71.90 is kind of our starting point here. I'll call it 80. Looks like it was 84. So we'll call it 80 and then goes up. Okay. Downside 71.150 or 71.50, sorry. That's lots of space. Okay, NQ. It's not quite big enough. So again, inside bar here as well. It's 924. We're at 813. So that will, I mean, realistically, that will hit it. So we're going to go 27K here as our starting point. Nice old round number. Push that up like 27.5-ish. Right, plenty of La Vida Loca. To the downside, you're looking at like 700. I would think that probably gets hit by the indicator. I'll call it 600 for now. That's fine. Okay, CL inside bar. Just consolidation across the board yesterday. It kind of makes sense, right? Apple green decreasing, gap down, so 1 for 3. Tesla red decreasing, gap up, so again 1 for 3, but to the downside. Microsoft red decreasing, gap up. Amazon red decreasing gap up. Pretty big gap up this time. Kind of sets up maybe like an overreaction gap up type thing. AMD, just slightly decreasing volume. So again, 1 for 3, fine. NVIDIA decreasing volume, but gapping up. So 2 out of 3 without. Meta, red decreasing, gap up. 1 for 3. Netflix, red decreasing, technically a gap down. 2 out of 3 to the downside without volume, fine. Google, little inside bar. And then the old Vixaruni 19 handle. It feels like we went through that prep so fast this morning. Not too much to rant and rave about, I guess. No, guys, you didn't lose sound. Fuck off. Like, can we please stop with everything just assuming that it's a tech issue? Like, I don't have the energy to talk 24/7, guys. Can we not just assume things work fine and sometimes I'm just quiet? Like, holy smokes. You want me to talk, ask a question. Not dance monkey dance here. Fuck off. I'm making a cup of coffee. I hope you don't have a meltdown in the meantime because it gets quiet. I'll be back in a few minutes. Guys, do we have any questions before the day starts? Yes. Oh no, Kenneth, is there? Can you please email backoffice@daytraderfunding.com? No. Any trades you place on those will not be passed forward, right? Because if you need to check if there's any news, we check the same source every single day, right? We use Forex Factory every single day. You've seen me use the exact same website every single day. If you're looking to catch up, not sure why you wouldn't just use that same website in the same way that I use it every single day. If we make things complicated for no reason. That's different for everyone, Jared, right? No. Yes, Emmy, that was correct. All right. Before this turns into just a pure tech issues bullshit chat, let's please focus up. We have a trading day here to take advantage of. Let's please focus on that now. All right, so that's market open. Let's see how the day behaves. Okay, so pretty similar to yesterday's open, right? Pretty similar. I think we need to contextualize, right, what we've actually seen. If you look at the daily time frame, you just barely got a breakout from the 6 months of consolidation that we've been dealing with. So maybe let's not like call this some crazy outlier. I can't believe I've never seen this. Market must be out of momentum, right? It's like a turtle head above its breakout spot. So it could keep going another million points. Who knows? It could sell off all the way to zero from this point too. Who knows? But contextually, a big move hasn't happened yet. So obviously, right, not going to get increasing volume here. So clearly not a good enough candle for confirmation, right? Microphones aren't working. There's no audio. Fuck off. Yeah, it was a joke, guys, right? But if I have nothing to talk about, right? That can be the case sometimes. Why? Because I thought that the indicator would not cover 600. Right? So I was a little bit off there, but that was the base assumption. So if you want the why, right, watch the prep in the morning when we do it. I do my pre-market prep live every single day. So if you want that answer, show up at 6:15. Guys, we talk about this every single week, or we talked about this last week for sure. Every time we put a vote on if people want music in the background, the resounding answer is always no. But it's pretty basic, right? If you see the candlesticks on your chart moving, things should be a working, right? Yeah. Guys, if you want me to, like we said this at the very beginning, right? If it's quiet and you want something to talk about, ask a question, right? But the market moved on one candle and then it's just been hanging out outside at the bottom of that opening range for the next 10, 15 minutes. There's nothing for me to say about the markets right now that's going to fill in that time. So if you want to check, ask a question, right? And ask something like, what candlestick would you want to see here to go long or short? Or what would you want to see from markets for XYZ to happen or whatever, right? Like, you can get that filled in at some point. I do think the 1 min is too noisy to trade. Just ends up being too whipsawy. The reason why it's not going to be a reversal, right, is price action's not extended from the opening range. So reversals, right, we want to see closer to our red lines or closer than off of our red lines than just a little turtle poke through the lows. And team, we also need to stop taking things so personally, right? So when I exclaim, I say to F off, I'm never saying it to you, the individual person. Annoyed at the question or whatever it might be, right? I don't actually keep score or remember who's asking things or XYZ, right? But sometimes we go through the same pointless patterns every single morning. And it makes no sense. And so I get frustrated. Am I telling you, the individual person, I think you're an idiot? No. Do I talk like a sailor at all times, especially at 6 o'clock in the morning? Yes. Do I hold it against you? No. Do you need to make my comments personal? No. I mean, there'll be times where, yeah, volume is like way, way, way more than what you've seen. You start to fear capitulation more than continuation. But that generally happens like after a big move has occurred already, right? So like if you've seen 200 points on NQ and then you see like the biggest volume of the entire move show up, yeah, that probably makes you fear more capitulation than continuation. I remember way back you used to trade with Bollinger Bands. Any reason you stop? Did the ORB just yield better results? So the ORB is just a static version of Bollinger Bands, right? So it's a very, very similar concept. It's effectively the same idea, except instead of having static lines, your opening range is when bands are compressed and then expanding. The reason why I use the opening range versus Bollinger Bands is the opening range just gives me a slightly easier translation of a setup trigger. So when I'm trading something that looks differently when it gaps up or gaps down, Bollinger Bands just gave me less setups. So the opening range allows me to contextualize the same idea, but create a more reliable setup trigger. And just to be clear, guys, again, right? I want this to be exceptionally clear to everybody, because I think this is confusing to some people. The context over which I curse is generally never in a derogatory or at you context, right? It's more like a coworker coming up to you and being like, Peter won 50 million on the lottery and now he's not coming into work today, so you've got to cover his shift. Oh, fuck off, right? It's like that. It's not Peter banged your wife last night and he's busy with that, so you got to cover his shift. It's not like that, right? It's the first version, not the second version. It's an adjective, not an insult. Right? So I speak like a sailor, was raised like a sailor. It's how it was on a trading desk. It's not personal. I'm never attacking you individually ever. Like I said, I'm not keeping score. It's how I talk, especially when I'm trading. So right now, the AI trading algos, especially the ones that you see advertised on like Instagram or Facebook, they're just a fancy version of effectively a martingale strategy. The cost is extremely prohibitive for AI execution to be realistic or reasonable for retail traders. So those algos, they work really, really well until they don't. And then you lose everything. Like in my experience, or in my opinion, I should say, and I'm someone who's very very into AI, I guess, if you want to call it that. I still think AI is like 2 years away from being able to maybe trade for us or do things along those lines. Like right now, it can't hallucinate and create something for you without micromanaging hundreds of hours of things, right? So if that's the case, when it's making like a simple website, it's certainly not good enough to trade your money for you and never make any mistakes. So in my experience, technology doesn't come out to save us, right? Like it's not all of a sudden going to be it's not all of a sudden going to fix all your problems. And so if AI ever gets to a point where it is effective enough for you to trade, you're still going to have to be the one that creates a strategy, finds an edge, right? Tests it, monitors it, does all these sort of things. Yeah, I mean, that company is going to the $1 man billion company is going to go to jail because he basically had like 1,500 fake doctors as his testimonials on his website. So he'll be investigated by the FTC and go to prison, I'm sure. That's the beautiful thing about politics, right? Rules for thee, not for me. So us surfs, we're going to have to keep working. And that's just life. Okay, we got 50 seconds to see if we can get a breakout and outlier volume. I'll tell you guys what, at my country club, there's no dress code, no speaking policy. Just let it fly. Okay, 10 seconds. And yes, I know that we've got data, not data, but we got Fed speak starting at 10. Yeah, the 952 candle is fine, but it's not a setup, right? It's in the middle of the opening range. My setups occur on a breakout through the opening range, right? Or through high of day, or through low of day, or on a reversal off of the red lines. None of those scenarios are happening. So the 952 candle is just big volume in the middle of nowhere. It means nothing. It works on all strategies. I just think on NQ, it's the best. And I trade and focus on NQ the most, right? So my belief in any career, in any profession, is that the specialist gets paid, right? The heart surgeon makes more than the general practitioner. So I'm not trying to go hunt and chase the fastest moving thing each day. I'm trying to go find my best setup or best version of my setup every single day. So, okay. So breakout, increasing outlier volume, 10 a.m. dropped. So now what's challenging about this news event here today, right, is it's a speech or it's comments. So that could go on for an hour. That could go on for 20 seconds. I don't know, right? So we're just going to focus on price and volume here. Just going to trade our system. And we're going to ignore everything else. So for now, looking at a 825 stop loss, right? It's got to pull back, 15 points at this point. We got a little bit of work to do before it's close to interesting. We'd be looking at 35 or better. Okay, still in business here. All right, guys, I am in average price 834.75. Not a great candle here for me, truth be told. No immediate reaction post entry besides it kind of stalling out. Okay, took the stop. Ah, it's annoying. Give this a second. No, we still have an active setup here to the upside, right? We haven't invalidated 10 a.m. candle. All right. We weren't wrong on that thesis. We were early. Okay, still in play. You're looking at 853 as your stop loss for now. Reference price would be 63 or better. Okay, guys, I'm in 860 on the dot. Why does this feel like deja vu? Let's see how this closes, right? Not the best looking of closes. Fuck's sake. All right, took the stop loss again. Yes, that's so fucking annoying. Just another little fake out, eh? It's so annoying. So right now, down a total of 16 points. And a little bit of an annoying 16. So I feel like I've had the direction right here. So again, increasing outlier volume, breakout through high a day. We have a new setup trigger here. Okay, so looking at an 860 stop loss for now. It's annoying when you don't want to trust it, but it's telling you you gotta. It's an annoying feeling. So all I'm doing, right, as this is creeping down, is just I'm adjusting my stop loss. So if it does settle in, or does give me this fake out here, like we've seen a couple times, I'm not chasing, trying to rush setting it up, right? So when I adjust my price or adjust my red line, I'm typing in that number into my stop loss location. Okay, just a little inside bar, nothing there too nefarious. So again, looking for a little fake out under basically whatever this is now, right? It's like 848. Once that happens, I can look to buy again. Now you'd be looking at something like that, 863. It's been a weird sensation, I'd say, last like week or so. It feels like the market has been squeezing higher, but every time I try to catch those moves, I get like squeezed out before it happens. Really frustrating. So again, I'm not sure what to do with this. could be our little fake out spot now. So then that would be a 57.50 stop loss. Okay, guys, I'm in 62.25, 62.25. Sorry for no reference price on that one. Come on. Nope. All right. Took the small stop. Was worth a try. We'll potentially try this again. One more. So, guys, obviously, I appreciate everyone who's down or finding their limits and walking away. What I will say, right, even though we're 0 for 3 to start the session, not a single one of those losses has been a full size loss, right? So we lost 8 points, 7 points, 5 points. So if you're hitting your max loss number or you're hitting your tilt number, however you want to describe it, you're probably oversizing on the trades that you're taking. So am I bragging about today's trading session? No, absolutely not. I don't mean that to be how it comes off, right? But we got to find that balance of being able to survive in the market to take our small risk shots, right? Am I thrilled being down $2,000 on the day? Absolutely not. Is it the end of the world? Absolutely not. Okay, so we got a 3-min candle here setting up as a reversal now, right? We have clearly better time of day for a rejection. Good volume, failed breakout, couldn't hold right at 900. Well, it just ran too far without me having a chance to jump in, right? So 2-min immediately separated. I didn't get a chance to set up. So because I couldn't get entry on the 2, you move to the 3 and you reset. All right, guys, time frames. I'm not trading the time frame because I think it's a better signal than one time frame. I switched to a different time frame because I think it's more likely that I'm going to get an entry. Okay, so looking at 845. Stop, right? Be patient. Now 848. All right, so watching here carefully. Okay, guys, and I am in average price 842.75, 842.75. Like to see this thing go pretty much right away, right? The longer it stalls, the worse I feel. Better. Close with some strength here. Come on. There we go. Much, much better. Boom. That's literally all it takes for us to be green, guys. Literally all it takes. All right, so now, right, it's been a bit of an emotional morning. Got to focus on not being a dumbass here, right? So do you got one more flush in you here, NQ? I believe in you. Oh, come on, don't do this. So again, we're going to try to judge this candle based on its close, give it as much time as we possibly can. But in context now, trying to, not like that it died just before 900 and then dies just before 8, all right? Contextually, I don't like that combo. Fuck. This candle's not making life easy. Come on, die, you prick. "40 seconds, that's when my next decision happens, right?" Not making it easy, though. Good Lord. "15 seconds. We're looking for a close under 30. Not this. Gotta be fucking kidding me. Worst pullback possible there. So focus now is on closing as P&L is increasing, right? Will not let this stop me out. Okay, watching carefully here. This is going to be my spot, right? Watch for it to flush through 30. Come on. Recovers so fast. That's so freaking annoying. What a waste of time. Ah. Okay, this can be the spot, guys. Don't fuck this up, right? We fought too hard for this one. Deep breath, find your posture. Okay, guys, I am out. Exit price 28.25. 28.25. So not the best outcome in the world, certainly not the worst. There's going to be your retest price right there. See, I would disagree with that RS trading, right? You 100% are able to do that in the same way that I'm able to do that, right? The whole trade, I wasn't super thrilled with how it was making me feel psychologically, right? I've been an emotional lunatic this morning. But all it is knowing that I make those decisions once the candle closes, right? I delay that gratification until that candle closes. Once the candle closes, then I have a decision to make. And then I have 3 minutes or 2 minutes or 5 minutes to execute my plan. So it's not that I'm of a better hold than you. It's that my analysis or my trading or my process tells me exactly what to do. And then I practice doing those things every single day. Right? So on the trades where it's easy and price action moves and it flies in my favor and I don't ever have a moment in drawdown, it's easy to not recognize those habits or those skills because the market has moved so much that regardless of where you close the trade, it feels like it did something good. But on the trades like here, where we're fighting for 12 points and we have to really focus on our process, well, that's where it becomes a bit of a nuisance, right? Or it becomes a bit challenging. So it's the same thing every single day. It's the same thing every single time. It's the same set of rules every single time. It's when we choose to make each setup feel different or act independently that we just confuse ourselves. Hey, sounds good, Joe. Good luck. No, never change time frames once I'm in a position. Multi-time frame analysis is just a quick way for you to get confirmation bias, right? You're going to use the shorter time frame to either scare you into making your decision and reinforce that fear, or you'll talk yourself into holding if you're greedy. The 3-min time frame told me I needed to exit. Now switching to the 1-min or the 2-min, not going to change that. So potentially try this again to the downside here, right? We have another little rejection setting up, a continuation of this same thesis, right? This 1018 thesis. Nice work, guys. Okay. Or your fake out spot for now, or your stop loss for now would be 57. So that's it for now. It'll be 41. So let's see if it can fake out here quickly. Yup. Okay, so I put you at 45. Let's see if we can get a decent size rejection here. You're looking at 49 as a stop. I'm not super convinced by the way this candle's been behaving, so just wait. Heck. Now we want to see a little fake out over 53. Feels like a bit of a Costanza market at the moment. That's exactly it, yeah. If every instinct you have is wrong, then the opposite must be true. Ooh. Well, hopefully it's the summer of George. There's this coming year. Vandalay. Hell yeah. Yeah, go enjoy your day, Hunter. I don't think you're going to miss out on too much. Whew. Oh, some F you. There's the fake out we were looking for. So I'd put you in the 61 handle. I mean, 51 or better. So is that the shakeout move we were looking for? I don't know. Trying to look a little bit like a bear flag here. 51 would get interesting, right? I would watch. I don't know if I'd be immediately clicking submit, but I'm watching at that price. It's so weird. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Like a month ago, felt like, every candle was going to give us 65 points. 1 month later, we're lucky if we get 6. Okay, so now you're looking like that, right? To be an 830. And so reference price would be 820 or better. Again, if it pulls into that zone, I'm giving it a chance to fake me out before I click submit. And we'll just set back up here on the 2 if we don't get a look here on the 3. No biggie. Okay, fine. Okay, so looking at 814, 815 as your stop loss. So 805 or better, right? Okay, guys, I'm in 806.75. 806.75. That might have been a bit prematurely. Stop loss 815. Don't like that, not one bit. Don't like the failed move under 800. Don't like the failed move under 800. Do the tough thing. Oh, there we go. All right, so gotta be really careful here because it's quick flush and then recover, quick flush and then recover. That's quite emotionally draining. Fine close, but just greasy price action. Ugh. Okay, I'm going to look for my exit here, guys. I'm starting to flush nice. So let's see if we can get one more decent crack here. It's not behaving again. All right. Find it, find it, find it. Such stupid price action. Why didn't I close at 84? What was I thinking? Ah. Hey, don't fuck this up, Michael. Don't fuck this up, Michael. Why am I stupid? Okay, flush, you dick. Oh, it's such a self-sabotaging thought, but I've got this like suspicion in my brain that if I close this, it's gonna rip. If I stay in this, it's gonna rip and stop me out. I've like psychologically binded myself into a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Yeah, it just doesn't want to behave the way that I want. At some point, I gotta stop just creating stress for myself. Okay, here it is, guys. I'm out. Oh, Jesus Christ. Felt like I had every emotion freaking possible here today. Exit price $79.75. That should put you nicely green on the day here, team. That should put you nicely green on the day. Fuck, I feel like I had to work a lot today for this. I don't know, maybe woke up wrong side of the bed, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it was a lot of work today. And yeah, good decision to close where we did. I can't imagine the stress I'd be feeling right now. Oh. Let's go, Joshua. Nice work. I would be very careful with that limiting belief, B-Bog, right? I would be very careful with that. That's an extremely limiting belief. Even one contract on a 150K account is more than enough leverage for you to pass your account in a reasonable period of time. Will you pass in 2 days? You might, but if that's your expectation, you never will. If you can't work on it for 2 weeks, a month, before you think it's taken too long, you need to readjust your expectations. Yeah, the leverage is not the problem. Yeah, I mean, I feel my mental capital's pretty low. I don't see myself placing any further trades. Not really. Any questions here, team? Any questions? Any other questions here, team? Any other questions? I'd probably wait until the PDT rule changes in about a month. I'll just wait for that. Good, Roberto. Good to hear. Honestly, Austin, I can't comment. I don't know on your what you did in your order window. No, Joel, we don't offer daily payouts at the moment. It's 4 payouts a month, once a week. Yeah, there'll be a coaching call again here today, guys. Is the 5:30 time still working for everybody? 5:30, 8:30. So 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. I mean, that's what I'm asking, Kath, right? I'm asking if that's what works for everybody. Well, guys, if it's about to break low day, I honestly don't care. I've made my money. It's been a good day. Like, why should you have any FOMO? Do I feel bad about missing this? No. Do I care? No. Does it change my life? No. Would I be a million times richer if I closed it 20 points lower? No. So it's just a part of the game. I've missed a million moves in my life. I'm sure I'll miss a million more. All right, guys. Well, if no further questions, I'm going to kill the stream here for the day before I feel even more pain for not somehow, I don't know, powering through that. But good trading day. I'll take it all day long. Have to fight a little bit. We're back at it again tomorrow. Hopefully a cleaner, smoother session. But good day. Nice wins all around, guys. And I'll see you at 5:30 or whatever it is. Peace.